Stand tall. Look life straight in the eyes. Yesterday's truths won't serve today's battles. In my years observing success and failure, one thing stands crystal clear. The world belongs to those who face reality head on. Not with fear, but with understanding. Not with wishful thinking, but with brutal honesty. I've watched thousands of lives unfold. Some soar to remarkable heights, while others remain trapped in the quicksand of denial. The difference, their willingness to face these hard truths, I'm about to share. These aren't comfortable truths. They won't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, but they will set you free. Modern society has created a bubble of false comfort. Social media shows you highlight reels of perfect lives. Schools teach you formulas, but not how to think. Parents, meaning well, shield you from harsh realities. But life doesn't care about your bubble. Life deals in truth, whether you're ready for it or not. Look around you. Notice how some people seem stuck in an endless loop of frustration. They're living by yesterday's rules, clinging to comfortable lies. They tell themselves things will work out somehow, or my time will come, or someone will notice my talent. These are the lullabies of mediocrity. But you're different. I can tell. You're here because something inside you hungers for truth. You felt it in your gut. That nagging sense that the usual success advice isn't cutting it. That the motivational posters and feel-good quotes aren't enough. You're right, they're not. What I'm about to share with you isn't popular. It won't make headlines. You won't find it in most self-help books. These are the brutal lessons I've gathered from decades of studying human nature and achievement. Lessons written in the sweat and tears of those who've actually succeeded, not just talked about success. Pay attention, because these truths will shake your foundation. They'll challenge what you've been told. They might even make you uncomfortable. Good. Comfort is the enemy of progress. These lessons matter now more than ever because we live in a world that's increasingly detached from reality, a world that prefers pretty lies over ugly truths. Are you ready? Really ready, because once you hear these truths, you can't unhear them. Once you see reality for what it is, you can't unsee it. And that's exactly what you need to build a life of real success, not the Instagram version of it. Here's the stark truth that will set you free. Nobody owes you anything. Not your parents, not your teachers, not society, not the world. Nothing. The sooner you tattoo this truth on your mind, the faster your life will transform. I see it every day. Bright, capable people waiting for the perfect chance, waiting for recognition, waiting for someone to hand them their dreams on a silver platter. They believe because they went to school, because they worked hard, because they're good people. The world somehow owes them success. This is the entitlement trap, and it's destroying more dreams than any external obstacle ever could. Let me tell you something that might sting. Your education doesn't entitle you to a job. Your talent doesn't entitle you to success. Your good intentions don't entitle you to results. The world doesn't care about what you deserve. It only cares about what you create. Right now, someone with half your talent is making twice your income. Someone with a fraction of your education is living your dream life. Why? Because they understood this fundamental truth. They knew nobody owed them anything, so they went out and created everything. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to discover your potential. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's searching for hidden gems like you. Nobody's losing sleep thinking about how to make your dreams come true. And this, my friend, is the most liberating truth you'll ever hear. Because the moment you accept that nobody owes you anything, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the master of your fate. Want opportunities? Create them. Want connections? Build them. Want success? Chase it every single day. Take full responsibility for your life. No excuses, no complaints, no blame games. I've watched people transform their lives within months of grasping this truth. They stopped asking, why isn't this happening for me? And started asking, how can I make this happen? They stopped looking for handouts and started giving value. They stopped waiting for luck and started creating it. This isn't just about positive thinking. This is about positive action backed by brutal honesty. The world owes you nothing, but it will pay you for your value. It will reward your initiative. It will respond to your actions. Take this truth, harsh as it may be, and let it fuel you. Let it wake you up every morning with a burning sense of responsibility for your own life. Because once you truly understand that nobody owes you anything, you'll start doing everything for yourself. Listen carefully, because this truth hits harder than any other. Your time is running out. Not next year, not tomorrow, but right now. Every second you sit here, every minute you waste, Every hour you kill, it's gone forever. Time is the only currency you can never earn back, never save, never multiply. You'd think this would be obvious. We all know we're mortal, but watch how people live. Scrolling mindlessly through social media, binge-watching shows they won't remember next week, spending hours complaining about things they won't fix. They live as if they have 1,000 years ahead of them. They don't. Neither do you. Let me tell you about procrastination's real cost. It's not just about delayed work or missed deadlines. It's about dead dreams. It's about regret that burns your soul when you realize time has slipped away. I've talked with countless people in their final years. Know what they regret most, not the mistakes they made, but the chances they never took. The dreams they kept postponing until someday. Some days is a disease. It's a comfortable lie we tell ourselves to avoid facing today's challenges. I'll start the business someday. I'll get in shape someday. I'll repair that relationship someday. But here's the brutal truth. Someday is not a day of the week. It's the graveyard where dreams go to die. If you live to be 80, you have about 4,000 weeks total. Subtract the time you've already lived. Subtract the time you'll spend sleeping, eating, commuting. How many weeks do you really have left to achieve everything you want? The number might shock you, but don't let this paralyze you. Let it energize you. Let it light a fire under you that burns away procrastination. Every morning when you wake up, remember, you're not guaranteed another sunset. This isn't morbid thinking. It's realistic thinking that breeds urgent action. Start measuring your time like a millionaire measures money. Would a millionaire throw away $1,000 bills? Then why are you throwing away hours? Every hour is a piece of your life you're either investing or wasting. There's no middle ground. Make today count. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Break big goals into small actions you can take right now. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Stop saying, I don't have time. You have exactly the same hours in your day as everyone else who's achieving what you want to achieve. Your time is running. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't stop for your fears. It doesn't wait for your convenience. Use it or lose it forever. Your comfort zone isn't your friend. It's a prison with comfortable walls and invisible bars. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing slow death over vibrant life. I've seen it countless times. People settling into their comfort zones like settling into quicksand, not realizing they're sinking until it's too late. It's nature for a moment. Nothing in nature grows without pressure. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Yet here we are, human beings, thinking we can grow while staying comfortable. It's a lie that's killing your potential one comfortable day at a time. Let me tell you what settling really means. It means accepting less than what you're capable of. It means trading your dreams for security. It means choosing what's easy over what's right. People settle into mediocre jobs, unfulfilling relationships, and half-lived lives because change feels uncomfortable. They build elaborate excuses. It's not that bad. At least it's stable. Better the devil you know. These are the lullabies of mediocrity, singing you to sleep while life passes by. But here's what happens. You settle. Your dreams don't die. They haunt you. That business you never started, it keeps whispering to you. That skill you never mastered, it keeps nudging you. That life you could have lived. It keeps showing up in your dreams, reminding you of what could have been. Breaking free isn't comfortable. It's not meant to be. When you step out of your comfort zone, your body sends panic signals, your heart races, your palms sweat, your mind fills with doubt. Good. These aren't warning signs. They're growth signals. They're telling you you're alive, you're pushing boundaries, you're growing. Start small if you must, but start. Take one uncomfortable action every day. Make one difficult call. Have one honest conversation, face one fear. Each time you do something uncomfortable, you expand your comfort zone. You build confidence, you grow stronger. Remember this. Everything you want lies on the other side of comfort. Every goal, every dream, every achievement worth having requires you to be uncomfortable. The job you want, uncomfortable conversations await. The body you want, uncomfortable workouts await. The life you want, a whole series of uncomfortable moments await. Here's the secret, is temporary. The growth is permanent. The fear of stepping out of your comfort zone is always worse than actually doing it. Always. Stop hiding in comfort. Stop settling for less. Stop letting fear of discomfort dictate your life's direction. Embrace the discomfort of growth, or accept the comfort of decay. The choice is yours, but the consequences are guaranteed. Remember that huge mistake made 5 years ago. That embarrassing moment that keeps you up at night. Here's the liberating truth. Nobody else remembers it. They're too busy worrying about their own failures, their own embarrassments, their own lives. This isn't just positive thinking. It's human nature. People are fundamentally self-centered. Not in a malicious way, but in a natural, survival-focused way. They're starring in their own movie, and you're just an extra passing through. That presentation, you messed up. To you, it was a defining moment. To everyone else, it was a 5-minute blip in their day, forgotten by dinner time. I've watched countless people paralyze themselves with fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking foolish. They carry their past failures like heavy chains, letting ancient embarrassments dictate their future actions. They remember every criticism, every rejection, every misstep, and they think everyone else does too. Let me tell you something that might shock you. Even your biggest critics spend very little time thinking about you. That boss who rejected your ID, he's worried about his own targets. That person who laughed at your attempt, she's dealing with her own insecurities. That friend who saw you fail, they're focused on their own challenge. This truth should set you free. It should liberate you to take more risk, to try more things, to put yourself out there without fear of eternal judgment. Because there is no eternal judgment. There's just temporary attention, quickly replaced by the next thing. Can you remember the failures of your closest friends from last year? The mistakes your coworkers made last month? The embarrassing moments of your neighbors from last week? No. And they don't remember yours either. Use this truth. Let it empower you. Let it push you to take those risks you've been avoiding. Start that business. Ask for that promotion. Share that idea. Pursue that dream. The worst that can happen? A temporary setback that most people will forget about before you do. Success requires failure. It requires mistakes. It requires looking foolish sometimes. The most successful people I've studied aren't the ones who never failed. They're the ones who understood that failures are temporary, but regret is permanent. Stop being the prison guard of your own past failures. Stop letting temporary setbacks create permanent limitations. Stop giving your failures more power than they deserve. Remember, people are too busy writing their own story to keep detailed records of yours. Your failures don't define you unless you let them. They're not life sentences unless you make them so. They're stepping stones, learning moments, necessary parts of any journey worth taking. Use them, learn from them, then let them go. The world already has. Here's a truth that might hurt your pride but will help your pocket. Raw talent means nothing without money skills. I've watched brilliantly talented people live paycheck to paycheck while average folks build wealth through financial intelligence. Your ability to manage money matters more than your ability to earn it. Society feeds you this fairy tale about talent being everything. Follow your passion, they say. Do what you love, and the money will follow. Pure nonsense. I've seen passionate, talented artists sleeping on couches while mediocre business people live in mansions. Why? Because talent without financial intelligence is like a high-performance car with no fuel. Impressive but going nowhere. Schools teach you algebra but not how to build wealth. They teach you history but not how to invest. They teach you literature but not how to manage debt. These money skills, they're the real difference between financial freedom and financial slavery. Every day, talented doctors file for bankruptcy. Gifted athletes go broke. Brilliant creators lose everything. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack financial intelligence. They know how to make money, but not how to keep it, grow it, multiply it, is what financial intelligence really means. Understanding how money works, knowing the difference between an asset and a liability, recognizing that what you do with your money matters more than how much you make. It's about making your money work for you, instead of you always working for money. Start with the basics. Learn to live below your means, not within them, below them. Understand compound interest. It's either working for you or against you. Know the difference between good debt and bad debt. These aren't complex concepts, but they're life-changing principles. Stop thinking your talent will save you. Stop believing your high income will protect you. Without financial intelligence, more income just means bigger mistakes. I've seen people double their income and double their problems because they never learned these basic money skills. The good news? Financial intelligence can be learned. It's not rocket science. It's not complex math. It's simple principles consistently applied. Read books about money. Study successful investors. Learn from other people's financial mistakes instead of making them all yourself. Remember, this is full of talented poor people. Talent might get you money, but only financial intelligence will help you keep it and grow it. Your skills might determine your income, but your money habits determine your wealth. Start today. Learn one financial concept. Make one better money decision. Take one step toward financial intelligence, because in the end, it's not what you make. It's what you keep, grow, and multiply that counts. Your health isn't just important to you, it's everything. Without it, your success is meaningless, your wealth useless, your time limited. I watch brilliant minds fade because they treated their bodies like machines that never need maintenance. I've seen empires crumble because their builders ignored the foundation of health. Here's a brutal truth. You can outsource your health. You can hire people to do your work, manage your money, clean your house, but nobody can exercise for you. Nobody can eat healthy for you. Nobody can sleep for you. These are non-negotiable personal investments that no amount of money can replace. Every day I see people making a tragic trade, trading their health for wealth, their vitality for success, their energy for achievement. They skip meals, cut sleep, ignore exercise, push through stress. They tell themselves they'll fix it later. Later never comes. Instead, disease comes. Breakdown comes. Regret comes. Prevention isn't just better than cure. It's cheaper, easier, and smarter. Yet people spend thousands fixing health problems they could have prevented with simple daily habits. They'll waste hours watching TV, but don't have time for exercise. They'll spend money on fancy clothes, but buy the cheapest processed food. Let me tell you something that might save your life. Your body keeps score. Every skipped meal, every stressed out day, every sleepless night. It's all being recorded. You might not feel it now, but your body never forgets. It's storing up these decisions, and one day it will present you with the bill. Start building sustainable habits now. Not extreme diets, not crazy workout plans, not impossible schedules. Simple, consistent actions that you can maintain for life. Walk daily, eat real food, sleep enough, manage stress. These aren't revolutionary ideas, but they're revolutionary in their impact. Your health habits speak louder than your health goals. Everyone wants to be healthy, but few are willing to build the habits that create health. They want the results without the routine, the benefits without the boring daily decisions. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You don't need to transform overnight. You need to make slightly better choices, day after day. Small decisions compound just like money. Eating one healthy meal won't transform you, but eating healthy consistently will revolutionize your life. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Treat it like the most important business you'll ever manage. Because without your health, you have nothing. No second chances. No do-overs. No amount of success can compensate for failing health. Here's a truth that might shake you. Most relationships in your life are temporary. Friends, colleagues, even some family connections. They come and go like seasons. This isn't cynicism. It's reality. And understanding this truth will transform how you build and value relationships. I've watched people cling desperately to dying friendships, force themselves to maintain toxic connections, and waste energy on relationships that have served their purpose. Why? Because nobody told them that it's normal, even healthy, for relationships to have expiration dates. Your life 10 years ago. Where are those best friends forever now? What happened to that mentor you couldn't live without? That colleague who was like family? Some stayed, most left. This isn't a tragedy. It's the natural rhythm of life. People grow, paths diverge. Priority shift? That here's where most people get it wrong. They focus on quantity over quality. They collect connections like social media followers, measuring their worth by their contact list. They maintain surface-level relationships with hundreds while having no deep bonds with anyone. This is the fast food approach to relationships. Quick, easy, and ultimately unsatisfying. Let me tell you something powerful. A quarter's than 100 pennies. Better to have a few deep, meaningful relationships than countless shallow ones. Better to invest deeply in connections that matter than spread yourself thin trying to maintain every relationship you ever had. Understanding that most relationships are temporary doesn't mean treating people carelessly. It means appreciating them fully while they're part of your journey. It means learning what you can from each connection. It means letting go gracefully when paths naturally diverge. Some people will be in your life for a reason, to teach you something specific. Others, for a season, support you through a particular phase. And a precious few for a lifetime. to walk beside you through it all. Your job isn't to force every relationship into the lifetime category. Your job is to recognize what each relationship is and honor it accordingly. Build meaningful bonds where you can. Invest in those who invest in you. Give energy to relationships that help you grow, but don't cling. Don't force. Don't desperately try to maintain connections that have naturally run their course. Remember this. The quality of your relationships matters more than the quantity. The depth of your connections matters more than their duration. Some people will stay, most will go. And that's exactly how it should be. Learn to appreciate people while they're in your life. Learn from them what you can. And when it's time, learn to let go with grace. Because sometimes letting go of old connections is the only way to make room for new ones that better match who you're becoming. Here's a truth sharper than any source. Your mind will make you or break you. Not your circumstances, not your background, not your luck, your mind, and specifically your ability to control it determines everything in your life. I've watched people with every advantage fail because they couldn't control their thoughts. You've seen others rise from nothing because they mastered their mental game. Your mind is like a garden. It will grow whatever you plant in it. Plant doubt, you'll harvest hesitation. Plant fear, you'll harvest paralysis. Plant discipline, you'll harvest success. Most people are mental amateurs. They let their thoughts run wild like untrained dogs. They let their fears drive them. They let their doubts direct them. They're living life on autopilot, reacting to everything, controlling nothing. Then they wonder why life feels out of control. Mental strength isn't born, it's built. It's like physical strength. You wouldn't expect to walk into a gym and lift 300 pounds without training. Yet people expect to handle life's heaviest moments without training their minds. It doesn't work that way. Start with your self-talk. That voice in your head, it's either building you up or tearing you down. There's no neutral. When you face challenges, what does it say? When you fail, what does it tell you? These aren't just random thoughts. They're programming, and you're writing the code every single day. Build resilience through small challenges. Don't wait for life's hurricanes to test your mental strength. Build it daily. Face small fears. Push through minor discomforts. Handle tiny rejections. Each small victory strengthens your mental muscles. Each time you push through, you prove to yourself that you can. Control your mind, or it will control you. Your thoughts create emotions. Emotions drive actions. Actions determine results. It's a chain reaction that starts in your mind. Break the chain early, at the thought level, and you control everything that follows. You're something most people never learn. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experiences. Use this. Visualize success vividly. Mental rehearsal isn't just positive thinking. It's mental programming. Athletes use it. Surgeons use it. Winners use it. Remember, it is the one asset that can multiply all your other assets or destroy them. A strong mind can rebuild a broken business. A weak mind can destroy a fortune. A disciplined mind can transform a weak body. An undisciplined mind can waste perfect health. Train your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every thought you allow to stay in your head is either investing in your future or sabotaging it. Choose wisely. Guard your mental space fiercely. Because in the end, your life will always move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. Here's a truth that might disappoint you. Real success is boring. It's not about dramatic moments or sudden breakthroughs. It's not about motivation or inspiration. It's about boring, consistent actions repeated day after day when no one's watching, when no one's cheering, when no one cares. Hollywood has sold you a lie. They show you the highlight reel, the athlete's winning moment, the entrepreneur's big break, the artist's standing ovation. What they don't show you are the thousands of boring hours that made those moments possible. The athlete's 5 a.m. workouts, the entrepreneur's endless spreadsheets, the artist's countless practice sessions. Let me tell you what real success looks like. It's the writer who sits down every morning to write, whether inspired or not. It's the salesperson who makes their calls every day, whether they feel like it or not. It's the student who studies consistently, not just before exams. It's boring, it's routine, it's unsexy. Most people can't handle this truth. They want excitement, they want variety. They want their success journey to feel like a movie montage. Quick, dramatic, set to inspiring music. But real success, it's about doing the same important things over and over. The most successful people I've studied have boring daily routines. They eat the same healthy breakfast. They follow the same morning routine. They tackle their most important task at the same time each day. Boring? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. The power of routine is its ability to turn difficult actions into habits. When something becomes routine, it no longer requires willpower. It no longer depends on motivation. It just happens, like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. This is where real progress lies. Well, here's where people get it wrong. They wait to feel ready. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. Successful people, they just do the work. They show up. They perform the routine. Day after boring day. Remember this, excellence is not a singular act but a habit. Success is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's not about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Stop looking for excitement in your success journey. Stop waiting for those movie moments. Start building boring, reliable routines that will carry you to your goals. Start embracing the mundane tasks that build extraordinary results. Because success isn't about what you do occasionally, it's about what you do consistently. It's not about what you do when you feel motivated. It's about what you do when you don't feel like doing anything at all. Embrace the boring. Master the mundane. Let others seek excitement while you seek excellence. They shatter an illusion that's keeping you stuck. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has it all figured out. Those successful people you admire, they're making it up as they go. Those experts you follow, they're still learning. Those leaders you look up to, they face the same doubts you do. I've sat with millionaires who worry about their next move. I've counseled brilliant minds who question their decisions. I've watched industry leaders second-guess their choices. The difference isn't that they have it all figured out. It's that they take action anyway. Here's the truth that will set you free. Everyone is improvising. Everyone is learning on the job. Everyone faces uncertainty. That person you think has the perfect life. They're dealing with challenges you can't see. That business owner who seems unstoppable. They're navigating problems they never expected. But most people are paralyzed by this truth. They think they need to have it all figured out before they start. They wait for certainty that never comes. They hesitate until they feel ready. A moment that doesn't exist. While they're waiting for perfection, others are out there learning through action. The most successful people aren't the ones who have all the answers. They're the ones who keep moving forward, despite not having them. They're the ones who embrace uncertainty as the price of growth. They're the ones who understand that figuring it out comes through doing, not through waiting. Stop putting successful people on pedestals. Stop thinking they have some secret manual for life that you don't. They're human, just like you. They have doubts just like you. They make mistakes just like you. The only difference? They don't let these things stop them. Here's what real confidence looks like. It's not knowing everything. It's being okay with not knowing everything. It's understanding that questions are often more valuable than answers. It's realizing that every expert was once a beginner who just kept going. Learn from everyone, but remember, even your heroes are figuring things out as they go. Even your mentors are learning new lessons. Even your role models are growing through their mistakes. This isn't a weakness. It's the human condition. The goal isn't to have it all figured out. The goal is to be okay with figuring it out as you go. To embrace uncertainty as the space where growth happens. To understand that the people who seem to have it all figured out are often just better at navigating uncertainty. Stop waiting until you have all the answers. Stop postponing action until you feel certain. Start moving forward with what you know now. Start learning through doing. Because that's what everyone else is doing, even if they look like they have it all figured out. Let me tell you an uncomfortable truth. Your actions are screaming so loud people can't hear a word you're saying. In a world full of big talkers, empty promises, and social media experts, your actions are the only language that matters. I've watched people destroy their credibility with a gap between their words and actions. They talk about discipline while sleeping till noon. They preach about wealth while drowning in debt. They promise reliability while consistently showing up late. Your actions aren't just part of your message. They are your message. You're what most people don't understand. Your reputation isn't built on what you say you'll do. It's built on what you actually do. It's not built in grand moments or bold declarations. It's built in small moments when you think nobody's watching. It's built in the quiet decisions that nobody applauds. It's the most trusted person you know. Are they the loudest, the most talkative? The ones constantly telling you how trustworthy they are? No. They're usually the quiet ones who consistently deliver. The ones who don't promise much but deliver more than they promise. Silent work speaks volumes. While others are talking about their goals, Successful people are quietly achieving them. While others are posting about their future success, winners are silently laying its foundation. While others are making excuses, achievers are making progress. Your actions create your reputation. Every time you do what you say you'll do, you build trust. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you build credibility. Every time your actions match your words, you build character. These aren't one-time events. They're daily deposits in your reputation bank. But here's the hard part. Consistency. Anyone can take the right actions once. Anyone can follow through occasionally. Anyone can work hard when motivated. The real test is doing it consistently, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when nobody's looking, especially when it's hard. Remember this? People might hear your words, but they feel your actions. They might forget what you said, but they'll remember what you did. They might doubt your words, but they'll believe your actions. Your actions are your real voice, your true message, your authentic self. Stop talking about what you're going to do. Stop announcing your plans. Stop making promises. Start taking action. Start delivering results. Start letting your work speak for itself. Because in the end, your actions will drown out your words every single time. Build your reputation through consistent action, not constant talk. Let your results make noise while you stay quiet. Let your success speak while you work in silence. Because true power doesn't need to advertise itself. It proves itself through results. Here's the hardest truth of all. Raw and unfiltered. Life isn't fair. Never has been. Never will be. And the sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you can stop being its victim and start being its master. I've watched people waste years of their lives complaining about unfairness, about how others got better breaks, about how the system is rigged, about how they deserve more. Meanwhile, others with the same, or worse, circumstances were busy succeeding despite the unfairness, sometimes even because of it. Some people are born into wealth while others into poverty. Some have supportive families while others fight alone. Some get second chances while others pay dearly for first mistakes. Yes, it's unfair. Yes, it's unjust. But here's the question. What are you going to do about it? Life's unfairness isn't a wall. It's a test. It's not asking if you think it's fair. It's asking what you're going to do despite its unfairness. Every successful person I've studied faced unfairness. But instead of letting it break them, they let it make them. They used it as fuel, as motivation, as a reason to work harder, think smarter, persist longer. Fairness is not a requirement for success. Equal opportunity is not a prerequisite for achievement. Perfect conditions are not necessary for progress. Some of the most successful people succeeded not because life was fair to them, but because they refused to let unfairness define them. Stop waiting for life to be fair. Stop expecting equal treatment. Stop hoping for perfect conditions. Start using life's unfairness as your advantage. Let it toughen you. Let it teach you. Let it show you what you're really made of. The same unfair circumstances that break some people make others unbreakable. The same unfair challenges that defeat some people develop others into champions. The same unfair obstacles that stop some people strengthen others for life. You can't control life's fairness, but you can control your response to its unfairness. You can't choose your starting point, but you can choose your direction. You can't pick your circumstances, but you can pick your attitude toward them. Make peace with unfairness, not because it's right, but because fighting it wastes energy you could use to succeed despite it. Accept that life isn't fair, not as an excuse to give up, but as a reason to fight harder. Because in the end, it's not about whether life is fair or unfair. It's about what you do with what you've been handed. Let others complain about fairness while you focus on progress. Let them demand equal treatment while you create your own advantages. Let them wait for perfect conditions while you succeed in imperfect ones. These 12 brutal truths aren't just lessons, they're weapons. Weapons that can cut through lies holding you back. The excuses keeping you stuck, the fears freezing your potential. I've shared them not to discourage you, but to arm you with reality. Nobody owes you anything, but you owe yourself everything. Your time is running out, but each moment holds potential. Comfort is your enemy, but discomfort is your teacher. Your failures aren't permanent, but your regrets can be. Money skills matter more than talent, but both can be learned. Your health is your foundation, but it must be maintained daily. Relationships are temporary, but their lessons are permanent. Your mind is your greatest asset, but it must be trained. Success is often boring, but its results are extraordinary. Nobody has it all figured out, but everyone can figure out their next step. Your actions speak louder than words, but they must be consistent. Life isn't fair, but fairness isn't required for success. The question isn't whether these truths are comfortable. They're not. The question is, what will you do with them? Will you let them defeat you or define you, break you or build you? The clock is ticking. Your life is waiting. Your moment is now. Take these truths and build something extraordinary.
Thank you for watching. Share this with friends and family, and please subscribe.